I today review and test of this vintage video projector from the flea market. So it is the Toshiba Data Projector TLP 411. It is from when the overhead paper projectors were still in use, but the computer and video projectors were already useful, because it is not only a video projector. It has here this folding arm, in fact will unfold and will reveal a camera to look at the paper you will put on it, and of course project it. We will demonstrate this, because luckily enough this unit is still working, the bulb is still in half good condition. So how old is it? Can you guess? Still paper projectors, still need of computer projectors. Yes, it is from the late 90s. More exactly, it is written here on the sticker, manufactured in July of 1997. And I found the original price for this device. It was $5,000. Yes. What do we have on the data plate here? It is fun because we have amperage but not power consumption. 3 amps at 220. Okay, so on the back we have of course the power connector. And we have inputs with audio and VGA, second output with S-Video and composite, and one output here, remote control with RS-232. So the thing has built-in speakers, but as you will see, in fact it is so noisy, the speakers are pointless, because you only hear the noise of the fans. I found so far 3 big fans in the unit. Maybe there are more of them. So we have here a very tiny control panel with just standby, menu buttons, volume control and input select, and 3 status LEDs. On the bottom, let me put it. So yes, it is 12 kilos. So it was quite a pain to bring it back from the flea market. You can trust me. Even working with it in the flea market was quite something. So as always, with the projectors, on the bottom you have access panel for the lamp and access panel for filter. Luckily enough, this filter was in 2 parts, and in fact this part is pretty strong and was possible to clean, because the other part of it is this, and it is completely rotten, decaying foam that is going right now in the waste bin. I have bits of it everywhere, quite awful, but this secondary layer will act very well as a filter, and anyway I do not intend to use it a lot. So we will have a look at the status of the lamp. It looks quite old, but it is still in working condition. So we have 2 big thumb screws to remove. I will try not to break it right now because I want it to work for the demonstration. It is still a little bit warm of the previous run. Here is what it looks like. Big high pressure lamp. The model number for you here. Probably a very expensive unit back in the time. You can see if it is at the end of its life, because the bulb is all fun inside, all whitish. When they are new it is clear. Not sure how it will show on camera, but it is but sadly this video projector has no bulb life counter. I did not find it, so We can know how many hours we have on this bulb, and my camera is freaking out. Okay, so I will reinstall it, trying not to break it, and trying to put it in the correct orientation. It will work better. Okay, now I will demonstrate the arm for the overhead document thing, feature, function. So I guess if you use it in schools, really, you do not want to break it. It is a kind of item you have to really pay attention of, and professors will be very scared at damaging them, because it was probably quite something back in the time. Okay, we have attachment holes here for overhead, well, ceiling mount probably. But I do not see any Kensington anti-theft hole, given the weight anyway. Okay. So the arm, I am trying to unzoom a little bit for you to demonstrate. So you have to press here, if you pull like so, and you have to pull like this, and it will unfold exactly as needed, just like a regular overhead projector. So here you have the fluorescent lamp to light up the document, focus and zoom controls for the camera, which is in here, which you can rotate a little bit, power button for the lamp here, and interestingly enough, here in the hole for the camera, will you see they did include some velcro on the side to dampen the camera head and have it sitting neatly in the hole. It is quite interesting. Okay, now I will connect it and I will demonstrate it. So while I connect it, the video source for video display feature will be a set-top box with my own YouTube videos on the USB stick. I am connecting it right now in composite video, glorious composite video. And the document for the overhead projection will be this little equipment card from aircraft equipment card. It is like 16 centimeters long, and we will see how far we can zoom on it. It will be interesting. So let me connect the mains and get ready. Already not powered on, it is already making noise. Now I turn it on. This thing is a beast of noise. So here at the other side I did set up a little, this is my blanking monitor, a little temporary display panel made with a wood piece, white wood piece, and you can see already it is displaying the paper. So let me cut off the lights and I will be right back. So now I have to speak loud because of the noise. First, it is probably made for very big rooms because in fact it is here at 80 centimeters from my panel, and you can see the picture is really not big, and it is the maximal zoom out. Here is the other side of it, but I can still focus pretty well. So before we check the features, the menu, it is really minimalist. We have video, we can just set some video features. Panel, it is not in use for some reason. What else? Projection, it allows you to put it on the ceiling or rear, to put it behind the display screen or not in front. So there is not even a keystone setting, it seems. What else? Mode. You can select some things here. There is a zoom function. In fact, you can zoom in the menu. It is interesting. Wide, I do not know what it does. It is not used here. USD mute, we do not want this. And we have a save and preset feature to save your custom data, it seems. And actually it is all. So apart from this, we have input button which will select between the inputs. And it is all. So here now the document. You have to put it sideways on the cover in order to have it in the correct orientation on the screen. The zoom you can put on it. Here is the maximum zoom on the camera. There is no autofocus, by the way, you have to focus manually. So I believe with the remote control you can do all this. And you can see we still see pretty well. This area here must be like 6 centimeters wide, and we can still read really well. It is from A300 aircraft, by the way. And in the other direction of zoom, I believe you can display almost a full regular sheet of paper. Okay, so this was for the camera function, and of course, if you turn off the light, you do not see anything anymore. Okay, now I will display a video. So here is the result with the video. Actually the picture may be a little bit too red, but it can be set. Apart from this, it is quite nice. Not, I can't really complain of the quality at this distance at least. Seems quite good, but there is a problem with the audio. In fact, you can push it pretty strong. 6557. But you will still hear the fan very, very strong. So it is quite pointless this thing to have audio. Anyway, even trying to talk with this thing, maybe except you are in a very, very big room, but it is really, really noisy. Okay, a few minutes of live demonstration for you. As you can see, it is doing the job. I can't really complain. It is working. Okay. So of course, as with all video projectors, when you turn it off, it will continue to make noise to let the lamp cool down. In the meantime, I can try to put back in place the camera arm. You have to press here, and you have to put it back. You have two black buttons, and here we are. So, now the question, what to do with this? I did check on eBay. You can find it for $20 in the States. Some companies try to sell them more expensive because, in fact, I believe it is quite rare now to have to find a projector that can display documents, and probably it is still in use in schools. mostly. Sometimes maybe they can still use it, but apart from this, it is really heavy and bulky. So you can mount it on the ceiling, but of course if you have it on the ceiling, the document camera function is totally worthless. I do not know how long it will make noise, so I will probably keep it in stock some time before I decide it is taking too much space and I finally make a teardown of it. It is a free LCD configuration, of course, and given the weight, I believe we have a lot of metal in it, and probably also very strong construction. But you know what, maybe what I can do at least, it is try to remove the top cover and see if I can just show you the contents real quick. So I will be right back. So it was just apparently 5 screws to undo, and now I am able to lift the cover. And it is nice because there is no wires in the cover. There is a reinforcement metal piece here. And surely enough, we have 97 dead codes everywhere here, so in the plastic molding. Okay, so it is pretty full inside. Probably here we have power supply, one of a big fan, air receiver. I will put it, oops, it is a little less sturdy without the top cover apparently. So let me okay, the camera. Okay, so here on the top we just have a power supply box probably. I guess if you want to remove this camera arm, it will be a deal of undoing the screws here and undoing these wires. We have what seems to be a coax, probably for a composite video output from the camera. And here at the bottom we have a big motherboard with the flat flex to the three LCDs, but they are in a quite weird shape. Usually they are in a like so, or not like so, not like so. There is an EEPROM here with a firmware probably. Here is all the power stuff for the lamp, big beefy connector, temperature sensors probably, stuff like this. We have here, it is fun, a little I have to move it a little bit. A little PCB inside the sleeve. Probably some kind of temperature sensor or fan controller. The status LED. And it looks like we have two hidden buttons that were not possible to reach from the with the top cover installed. Is it for service? It will be quite interesting to check. Actually, they are called call and mute. Not sure. Okay, apart from this, lot of grounding wires everywhere. Speaker here with a little PCB on the side, and you can see pretty serious metalwork all around. So probably it will be quite a fun teardown. I can see a big bolt here at the back for the fit. Yes, one thing completely pointless on this thing. In fact, the fit here, you can unscrew it, but it is very long to turn. I know other projectors you have a button, a push button you press and it will drop the feet and then you can adjust it more precisely. But here you have no choice that turning, and there are two of them. As you can see, quite a pain. Okay, so I guess it will be all for today with this thing. I still do not know what I will do with it, but it's quite a rare device, so I was happy to find it at the flea market anyway. So, thanks for watching, bye bye.